Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I know that it's been a while since I've been on my YouTube. I needed to take some time off to take care of myself, take care of some things in my personal life. However, I am back. I am happy, I am rejuvenated, I am refueled, and I've been, filling up my cup, as I would like to say. It is a beautiful day today, and I have a message for you guys. It's about confrontation, the importance and the significance of confrontation. When I hear confrontation, first and foremost, I feel that what I process is like a fight, like confronting. I need to confront something. And for a long time, I had a negative relationship with confrontation because to me, there was no way to confront something without fighting, putting up a fight. And I don't like fighting. I don't like arguing. I just don't like it. So my entire life, I've always tried to run away or, find a way to escape confrontation. But there's always a full circle that brings you back to the things that you must work with and that need work. And you usually discover this when you go inward and you start to work with yourself intentionally from the inside out. And I've discovered some stuff that I've experienced and I've put to practice. So without further ado, I'm going to just start talking about the importance of confronting. So to begin, I want to give you the definition for confrontation. Confrontation allows for honesty and transparency in our relationships. Things of particular importance when we experience conflict. When you confront someone, you are being honest with your feelings and allowing yourself to express vulnerability. So, to sum it all up, when you are confronting something, it just means that you are facing something that you fear, in essence, because you just don't know how to expose yourself, your vulnerable aspect, without feeling attacked or suppressed about it. And some things need to be confronted, because if you don't confront it, then you're not communicating it, you're not revealing it, you're not working with it. It's just staying there, it's stagnant. It becomes stagnant energy that ultimately blocks you. And blockages, there are so many different forms of blockages, and you want to be as open and as free to receive all that is you, that you are, and that the universe has in store for you. So we don't want the blockages. With that being said, I realized that fear is the number one thing that we must confront, and the number one thing that stands in the way of the things that we must confront with conviction and with courage and fearlessly. So what does fear mean? Fear is a feeling induced by perceived danger or threat that occurs in certain types of organisms, which causes a change in metabolic and organ functions and ultimately a change in behavior, such as fleeing, hiding, or freezing from perceived traumatic events. There you have it. So I want to give you an example. If you were abused as a child, that could be verbal abuse, that could be psychological abuse, emotional abuse, or even physical abuse, right? But in this case, you develop this fear mechanism, correct? Because you don't even know why you're being abused, but instinctively, you develop this protective shield that comes from fear, because now you have this trauma, this relationship, this correlation to this happened to me, now I must hide, protect myself, and I'm scared. Now, as you continue to grow and evolve and become a young adult, teenager, and an adult overall, these signs of trauma and fear start to show in different aspects of your life that can actually truly hold you back from so much, because this fear is a figment of your imagination, meaning it's not real. It's just been developed through this traumatic experience that you haven't worked with yet, you haven't addressed, you haven't confronted, because you're afraid. You know, fear is the prominent feeling. That's what you feel the most. That's what shines through. Then we can end up doing so much damage to ourselves that goes beyond the traumatic experience, because now we are living in fear. And living in fear is, I'm gonna say, one of the biggest blockages, one of the biggest walls that we create for ourselves, that can hinder our greatness ultimately if we don't face it, if we don't go deep and, you know, discover and go deep within and figure out what's happening. Where is this fear coming from? Because if it's there, it's coming from somewhere. It's not part of your imagination, meaning like it's not just something that you think is happening, but it's not really happening. It just needs work. So when you actually take the time and work with it, face yourself right there where it hurts, right there where it feels uncomfortable. The universe is God is constantly making a way, not finding. He's making a way to present to you what needs work. And he'll do that usually through people, placing you in places, exposing you to things, situations where you start to kind of develop these aha moments, or these deep whispers that are communicating to you and trying to help you, because we are powerful. You know, we have a lot of power. We are spiritual beings living a human experience, and there's no boundary and no limit as to how great we can be and how deep we can work with ourselves and how far can we go. And we're not meant to live in the past, but the only way to understand the future is by looking at our past. So that way we can make better sense of, you know, where we are now and how we got here, and start changing our habits and confronting life differently without fear, fearlessly, because it is okay to feel afraid, but it is not our birthright to be afraid. So the difference will be that you can acknowledge and understand fear when it surfaces, because it is a part. It's something in us that is constantly, you know, either trying to warn us or just remind us of this trauma or this trigger, or hey, we've been here before, or whatever the case may be. However, we can create a different relationship with fear in a way where we can process it, acknowledge it, that it is there, and move forward from it, and not allow us to keep us trapped or hiding or insecure or in doubt. Because I am sure that one thing that can hold us back the most from being our best self is doubt, the not knowing, because we never truly know anyway what's going to happen next. But living in fear is not the answer, because it's something that actually holds us back, keeps us still and sitting in a place within ourselves where only we have the key to unlock ourselves from. And truth be told, the moment that you start to go from within and talk to yourself, you're going to start coming up with the answers. You have the answers. So for me, one of the tools that works and has been working tremendously has been sobriety, staying sober, doing yoga, meditating. I listen to sermons on YouTube. Haven't been to church in a while, but those things kind of ease me, bring me peace. Creating rituals for myself, such as when there's a new moon, I like to write down my intentions of what I want to manifest, what I want to see from myself, how I want to grow or develop into the next stage. Definitely understanding that there is a higher being, a source. I call it God. You can call it the Tao. You can call it Buddha, whatever it is to you, whatever it may be. But in understanding that there's a greater source that is orchestrating this whole entire universe brings me peace and calm, and it allows me to be more and to control myself less, like trying to be perfect or trying to have it all figured out, because that's not part of it. We're here to grow, we're here to develop. And to most importantly, when we transition into the next element, the next place, when we're no longer here in flesh, to leave this world a better place because we were here and because we shared our light and we actually made this world a better place through being the best version of ourselves that we can be. And that all starts from within. So I wanted to talk about this today, about confrontation, because confrontation is something that I have been practicing for the past year of my life, I would say, year and a half. And the wiser you become, the more in tune you become, the more that you can actually start to see things before they come to you, and understanding like, ooh, I'm about to enter this, meaning this lesson or this concept or this realization of self. But you must go inside, do the inside work, and become connected to yourself, ultimately connected to source. So you can grasp these lessons as they show up and not run away from them. And confrontation has been something that personally kept me away from myself for so long, because instead of going inward and trying to do the work myself, I was always searching to outside sources, like getting high or being in relationships that were actually dependencies, distractions, running away, period, like calling somebody like, hey, is anybody available? Can I please just hang out? Trying to not be in myself because of all the trauma that I had experienced. And I never realized that until I finally had to surrender and face myself, face it head on, head straight, soberly, and then start the grieving process. And then so much that comes along with confronting yourself, facing yourself, and most importantly, your fears and the why and where they come from. So I felt that it was the perfect time for me to talk about this to you guys. And if you have any further questions, any dialogue that you would like to spark up regarding this subject, feel free to comment below. I will continue to do more videos since I'm ready. I'm just ready to do more and to give more and to speak more of the truth, and most importantly, from my experience. And I have to own it and honor that part of me, and I'm ready to just give off this light and this energy that no longer needs to be held back. I am not afraid. I am now fearless, one day at a time. And thank you guys for watching and listening. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe, feel free to subscribe. And have a beautiful, lovely day, and stay blessed. Thank you.